Hey there, it's Katherine Cartwright. Welcome. This is the Sending Sunshine collection from Stamps of Life. This is the May 2024 card kit. I'm just quickly showing you the contents and then I'm going to get busy making some cards. You can see there's a lot of fun embellishment stickers. There's a word die included. You're going to get this really cute Fold It die that I'm going to work with in a minute. You get a storage envelope, some paper envelopes for mailing, and then some cardstock and a patterned paper pad. So I'll go through that in a second. So let me show you the colors. Pool, Sunshine, Artichoke. We've got Blue Jay, Cranberry, Cloud, Kiwi, Ginger Snap, and Powdered Sugar. So you get plenty of cardstock to get started on your cards. So this is on the front of this pad, it has the names listed of everything that's used in there in the colors. And then there are these pre-printed pages that coordinate with the Tropical Vibes stamp set. So if you're a stamp member or a Die Hard member, which is the stamp and dies, you have these products at home. You can use these dies to cut out these pre-printed pages, making very quick work of beginning your cards. And so there are 2 pages in the beginning, and then it repeats again. So you'll have 4 of those to work with. But really fun, bright colors this month, and lots of fun shirts with that tropical vibe. Okay, so I'm going to jump right in here. I'm going to begin with the A1 Pineapple Fold It die here. So you get 2 dies. There is the what I call the shadow or the base die that you're going to use. And I'm just trying to figure out my paper here, what colors I'm going to use, and I'm going to tape this down. So what I like to do when I use the Fold-Its is I like to cut. When you do the Fold-Its, you're folding the paper in half, and I'll show you that in a second. But you're gonna cut off kind of the top of it, and so I like to do the base layer by itself, and then I'll glue it onto my card base. And all of this will make a little more sense once I get to the card base, but I'm just beginning by doing some of my die cutting. I'm going to use some of the Sunshine and the Artichoke, and I'm using Ginger Snap for my base. So I'll come back to that base piece in just a minute. I'm going to run my paper through my little machine here and cut this out. And I make a mistake here, so I left it in there to show you that I cut it my paper was a little too small, and so it didn't get all of the pineapple in there. So I just wanted to show you that, you can make a mistake and it's totally okay. You just do it again. So you can see now I've got enough there. You're going to cut these pieces apart to create the colors. So this is called paper piecing. You're basically running through the colors that you want through your die cutting machine, and then you can piece them back together. So it's a really fun, it's very easy too. You can clearly see the cuts in there, the lines. There's some little sides here that you just kind of nip the edges of those, and they will be able to go together just perfectly. And you can see it really has some nice detail in it. I will do a little ink shading, but they don't require a lot, especially this one because there's so much detail in there. And I did add a little bit of yellow around the edge, some Sunshine ink, and I have my pineapple upside down here. I'm trying to figure out, wait a minute, okay, there we go. So I finally get it the right direction. I knew I was not doing something correctly because these fit together perfectly. So that was a little bit of user error. So I've gotten that turned the correct direction, and then I'm going to add a little bit of glue, a dot of glue to each of these sections of my pineapple. I love pineapple. I'd love for you to leave me a comment. Do you like pineapple? My husband used to not like pineapple many, many years ago when we got married, and then we traveled one time to Hawaii when we lived much closer to that part of the world. And they had all of this delicious fresh fruit, and particularly pineapple, and he really fell in love with it. He was not a pineapple fan until then. I have always loved pineapple. My grandfather and I used to eat pineapple all the time. He would get the cored pineapples at the store, and we would enjoy those together. Okay, so I'm off task. I'm sorry. I'm back. So talking about pineapple, one of my favorite fruits. So I have folded this cardstock in half, and you can see a little bit of the top is sticking up from the die, so that will not cut through this cardstock, and that is going to give me a hinged card. And you'll see when I take this off, that I have a shaped card. So quick and easy. But the little bit of the top is gone, and so that is why I cut this additional piece. And I also wanted to do it in ginger snap. I'm using white for my card base, so the inside of my card will be white. But could not be easier. So simple to make these fun shaped cards, and then you just kind of pinch it together a little bit, and it will line up beautifully. And then I have this awesome shaped card. All right, and now I can start adding some more fun items. They're these really cute. These are cardstock stickers. They're very nice weight, the little flowers, and they have a little gemstone in there. And I also cut one of the shirts, I should say, the Tropical Vibe shirt printed ones from the paper pad. And so I've got a 5x7 envelope here because this is going to be a little bit larger than a traditional A1 sized card. And I just want to make sure it's going to fit. So I'm putting my t-shirt there to the side and then getting that to fit. I've got Sending Sunshine, which I've cut from powdered sugar and ginger snap, and I'm going to add some of these beautiful cardstock flowers. Super, super cute. And I probably could have fit the Sending Sunshine to the side maybe, but I really wanted to put it on my pineapple. I thought it was so cute. And then I'm going to add some gemstones for the little letters on here. But first I want to tie a little ribbon. I've got a piece of ribbon. This was from last month, I believe. It's kiwi. So it would have been in last month's card kit. It's a pretty recent one because it was still sitting on my craft table. And so I decided it would work really well with the artichoke. And I'll add a little bit of adhesive there to stick this down. I've got a little bit of this red line tape because my glue dots have already gone missing. I think I may have said that last month. They were missing, but maybe I found them last month. They just float around. I don't know why. They just always are all over the place, the glue dots. They travel. So I'm going to use some red line tape as a substitute to get this to stick down. But how cute. And then I've got my little gemstones. These are some old ones that I've had forever that are just kind of some clear ones that I thought worked well with the word die. And there is a fun little, and you can stand that one up, which is really fun. Okay, so moving on, I've got the large circle flip it here, and I'm going to make very quick work of this. The flip its are so much fun because they're really quick and easy. All the measuring's done for you. So I've run this through to create my card base from artichoke, and then I took a piece of the patterned paper, and I'm going to add this on, just adding a little bit of glue. And then you get all the layering pieces that you need, and then I can add whatever else I want to finish this card off. Okay, so I'm just going to line this up. Again, very easy since all the measuring is done for you. Okay, and I love this paper because it has a little bit of the beautiful flowers on there, but it's still pretty subtle, so you can put some other things on top of there. All right, I've cut a circle that goes on top of this flip it, and I'm going to add that on, and I've got one of my shirts, my tropical shirts here that I want to glue down as well. And they're so fun because they're already made. They've got all the flowers on there and everything is already added for you. All right, and I'm just looking for my foam adhesive that I use all the time, the foam adhesive sheets, because I can just trim it down to size, and then I'll add this onto my center circle. All right, so you could leave it right there. I'm going to add a few more elements, but with the pretty pattern paper, you don't have to do a lot to this. So I've already got a bunch of things cut out here in my little container. I went on and cut all of the pre-printed pieces, and now I have them at my fingertips, and I can just pull them out when I'm ready. And I've done a couple of the word dies as well, Sending Sunshine. And then you also got those really cute little leaves in that set, and I'm just picking which color of my word that I want to use. And then I'm thinking that I want to use one of these stickers here, and but they're obviously a little bit larger than this die. You know, the flip it die. It's not going to fit on there as is. So I think I'm going to take one of these and trim it in half, cut it at a spot to where it will fit onto the back of my card. And then I'm just going to make a little cut here. These are nice little cardstock stickers, and I'm going to trim in this other end just because there was a little too much left on there. Hoping your days are filled with good times. So there I have a very quick sentiment strip on here just by trimming that down. And again, I'm going to pull out some more little elements here. I've got a couple of these leaves that I'm just going to glue directly to the card because I added some foam to the front of my shirt, and so I don't want it so high on the back side with dimension. So I've got that dimension on the front. I'm going to repeat the same process on the back, just gluing down the Sending Sunshine. And I will say in the video, I forgot to put the little tops of the eyes on there. So, and then I think even in my pictures, I forgot to add them on there before I took pictures. So you'll see that my cards need a little attention before I mail them. So I'll either add a gemstone or maybe add another piece of the little parts of the eyes that I missed. Okay, so that's it for that flip it. All right, so I've got this everyday decal edge here that I've already cut out, and I am going to add this to the card base. And I have cut that from Pool, and I love the back of this paper too. That's the hard part about having two-sided sometimes is I don't want to use certain pieces, but I have to make myself do it. But I chose the gray. I thought that went well with the blue. And then I have this little balloon die. I'll link it in the description. It comes from a pop-up set, but I can't remember the name of it right this second. But I created this fun little string of balloons kind of going up in the air. And then I'm going to add some foam to that as well, to my shirt, my Tropical Vibes. I'm just going to glue the balloons directly down because there are quite a few. And so I kind of want that to go a little bit at an angle. It does fit on the card, the A2 size card. And then I also added, the different colors. So you get the strip. I started with back to the balloons, I started with yellow, and then I just went and die cut a few more pieces. So I added some green and blue on there and red as well. I've got a happy birthday that I stamped from the stamp set, the Tropical Vibes, and then I can add a little bit more embellishment here. I've got these cute little lays this one is blue, which I think is so cute. And if you have the stamps and dies, you can make many, many more of these if you wish, any of the color shirts that you want. And then I'm trying to finish up here with my last little embellishment. There are these really cute flowers, kind of crystal looking flowers that have adhesive on there. And so I think those would be a nice little bling, but not overpowering since this is a pretty busy card. Okay, all right, so that's that decal edge one. I've got a piece of the pineapple paper here that I've trimmed down. I have this tilted rectangle die that I think is so fun. I cut this from Artichoke, and since this pattern is pretty, I don't want to say busy, but it is full, I don't want to cover it up. And so I thought this little tilted rectangle would be a good way to add some interest here to my card without covering all of the pattern. And so I really like the size of it as well. I'm going to add a strip on the bottom here, Let's Get Together, which fits perfectly on here. So my cardstock in this, my pattern paper I should say, is 4 by 5 1/4 inches. So trimmed a little bit smaller than the A2. And so these stickers fit on there perfectly. Here's some more of my foam adhesive that I love so much. I'm getting low, but I've got some coming. And so I will be restocked with my foam adhesive, which is a great, great thing because I was getting concerned. So I've got more coming on the way. All right, I'm going to place that shirt right in the middle, and then I can finish up this card here. Got some more leaves, and I love the wooden pieces. Stamps of Life has had wooden pieces over the years, and I really, really love them. They're some of my favorite little elements that they do. They've done different shapes. I think that they had one that was the shape of a succulent, like a cactus. And I think I just used my last one and it broke my heart because they're some of my favorite pieces. I just love a wooden element. So I'm going to pop these leaves up here, and then I've got the wooden pieces that I'm also going to add as well. And they're so cute. And you don't have to add foam to the back of them because they already have some dimension. And I'm just moving my leaf to where I want it to go. All right. So I'm satisfied with that, and now I can finish assembling the rest of my card. I've got a piece of sunshine here, and then I'm going to have a card base that this will go onto. Just adding a little pop of that sunshine to pull that out from the pineapple so it's not too overwhelmed and nice and subtle. And then I'm going to add this onto Ginger Snap, one of my favorite colors from Stamps of Life. And that is a really fun card. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to, I've got to fold it, and I've already created it. And this is the Sand Dollar Fold It. This may have been like one of the first ones in the Fold It Club. I don't think it's not released yet. It'll be a while before it becomes released. If it is, I think Stephanie said it takes a long time before you'll see them. So if you're a club member, you'll remember this one. But with summer, I have to use it. So I'm going to pull this out and I'm going to glue this down. I've added a little bit of ink to the center. Use Ginger Snap here, just kind of around the center of my sand dollar. I almost said starfish. Sand dollar, and then around the edges too to pop it out. And I definitely want to add another one of my shirts here, my Tropical Vibe shirts. So I'm going to glue that onto the side here, and then again another fun fold it that will stand up, and then I'm going to add Sending Sunshine to the right hand side. And so I will get that where I want it to go, and I'm going to kind of fool with this for a second because I want it. I'm standing it up. I can see it how I kind of want it. You can't really see it as much because it's not looking at the camera. So anyway, I'm just moving this around so when the recipient gets it, I liked where the Sending Sunshine is when it's standing up. And I've got another one of these little wooden elements, and I'm going to place that in the center of my sand dollar. And there we go. Super quick. And then one more little flower here to finish that one off. And I'm just making sure it does fit in a 5x7 envelope. Okay, so now I'm going to work with some stencil paste. I've got a little bit of palette paper here that I picked up to try recently, and I'm going to use that to mix together some of the stencil paste. I've got this palm leaf stencil. This was from the Critters class, I believe. I don't think it's available anymore, unfortunately, but if you bought that class, then you have the stencil. But I'm just going to add some artichoke. I've got some artichoke re-inker here, and I'm going to add some of this because I want to tint some of the stencil paste. And then when I'm happy with that, I'm going to start laying that down. But of course, I did not add enough. I'm very chintzy, so to speak, when it comes to my pastes and such. I hate to waste them, and so I often start with too little because I don't want to waste any of it. So I'm going to have to make some more here really quickly before everything dries. So I tend to underestimate on my stencil paste because I don't want to waste it. So I'm going to pull a little bit more out here and be a little more generous, and then add some more. I think I used 3 drops of artichoke just for reference. And you'll see that it lightened it up a good bit. So if I had used, for example, kiwi, it would have been an even lighter green, because if you know artichoke from Stamps of Life, it's a nice, rich, deep green. And using the white stencil paste with the re-inker will lighten for sure. So whatever color you choose, just plan on it being a little bit lighter because you're adding white to it, and it's going to take away some of that color. All right, so I'm going to get all of my little nooks and crannies here, and then I'm going to peel this back and see how it turned out, and it looks pretty great. All right, so I've let it dry. It's nice and dry here, and the color is really pretty. There's a little bit kind of a little small variation there because I did make it myself with the tinting of the paste, and so you'll get a little bit of a graduation of color, which is nice. Adds a little bit more interest to your card. Okay, so I also cut a circle, another large circle that's big enough for one of my shirts here, and I'm going to add some foam to it because I don't want to glue this directly onto the paste. I want this to be, I'm going to have to use a dry adhesive actually. I take that back. So this, I'm adding the foam adhesive for my shirt, and then I need to add some dry adhesive to glue on top of that stencil paste. Okay, so I've got my t-shirt where I want it, and then I'm going to add this, and see, I had to rub this off because I realized that the wet adhesive is not going to work. So I need to add something dry here, and I'm going to add just a little bit of foam on here to pop this up, because otherwise it really won't stick. It will stick, but a dry adhesive will stick better to paste. Okay, I'm placing this here where I want it, and then I will press that down, and I'm going to add a little bit more foam so that my items are at the same height. Okay, and this will go in the bottom right corner, again using that Happy Birthday from the Tropical Vibes stamp set. And I know I want to add a little bit something extra, but I don't want to overpower and hide that background that I created. So I'm keeping this pretty simple so you can see all of those elements. Okay, well that was very quick, I know, and lots of details. So if you have any questions, leave me a comment. But let me know, most importantly, do you like pineapple? Here are the cards that I made. So the A1 pineapple fold it that you'll get in your kit. Here is that flip it card, Sending Sunshine. We've got a Happy Birthday themed, which is very fun and festive, using that decal edge, everyday decal edge, and the balloon banner kind of thing. And here is one with the tilted rectangles and the fun pineapple background. And then I made the sand dollar fold it as well. And then lastly, using some of that stencil paste and tinting it, I had a fun way to add a little bit of texture and interest to my cards. So thanks so much for watching. I have all the details in the description about subscribing if you are interested in being a member to Stamps of Life, any of the clubs. They've got quite a few. And if you have any comments or questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day, and I'm sending sunshine your way today. Have a good one.